Lo and behold, I'm out here in the mountains.
I think we all hate the snow, but that's your fault for staying all the way out there.
Yeah. I actually kind of like the snow. I don't really have a problem with snow.
Nah.
I feel like it depends.
It depends.
Kind of like where you at and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And how you can adapt to it.
Or whether you have shelter or a vehicle that can get through it, or yeah.
I think certain, like, snow in the city is ass. Snow in the mountains or snow in, like, I just imagine like Montana or some shit, like it's cabins, everybody got a fucking truck,
yeah,
a snowmobile, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You Gucci, you know.
I think something wrong with the chat. Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead and verify it, because I mean it says it's ready, but
I put test in the chat.
It's not working. Okay, there we go. It's working. Okay, so
sound like you had to bang the chat up against the ground.
I guess we're the only ones here right now, but it's all good. That's the purpose of VODs, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Purpose of VODs. So, all right, guys, it's another week. Last week was discussion topic, and now we're back on, gameplay, playing your guys' games.
Hell yeah.
Ororis. Ororis, but
Blah, 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 blah.
D7 is quiet compared to the others. I don't know why I'm quiet, bro. Like my
Sounds at a normal volume to me.
yeah, either
Oh, it may be slightly quiet. I had my volume slightly louder.
okay, so all right, I don't know what their mic settings is, Mr. Harlequin, but I could tell you this: D7 has the best mic settings. You know, just like Marlon proclaimed to be the best host, I got the best mic settings. So once again, Ororis by Lavexis. This game is something to like. It may be something to not like. And we're going to talk about it. You know, we're going to talk about it. We spent time. I spent the last 2 days streaming this game. I showed you guys at least 7 hours worth of video footage that I could muster from, you know, pulling my hair out or whatever hair I have left. So Ororis. Let me read the quick synopsis about it. I'm not going to read everything because it is a lot to read. It is a whole lot to read. And this is what the developer wants you guys to know. The Kingdom of Duma, situated in the heart of the continent, flourishes thanks to its robust market and abundant food supply, sourced from lush forests and plentiful resources spread across the land. The Holy Nation of Barin, situated in the southern region of the continent, is characterized by vast deserts and place heavy reliance on iron and mineral resources for sustenance and development. And the Empire of Teladras, situated in the frigid northern hemisphere, lack abundant natural resources compared to the other kingdoms. However, their unmatched military strength stems from Emperor Chamberlain's triumph in the Northern War. By uniting all northern class into one nation, Teladras boasts the largest military might in the region. So these are the three kingdoms that the game, you know, is based on. You know, there's three different areas in three different kingdoms. So you basically got your north, south, or east or west kingdoms. Then you have on the surface it may appear the war occurred due to conflict over resources and unity. However, there's a deeper, more sinister threat that initiated the chain of events, something malevolent that no one see it coming. So that is the quick synopsis of Ororis. And now we're gonna get into the gist of the story. What is Ororis about? You know, I just pretty much read, you know, the quick synopsis, what the developer wants you guys to know about the game. But what's most importantly is, how do we interpret the story based on our gameplay? You know, what was it? Oh, go ahead, Cychronic.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. When it comes to the story, I guess like kind of like the rough idea of it is like, you know, they have an intro that's I guess optional. I liked the intro. It basically describes this land where there was all this fighting and then between the factions, but the sinister reason was some kind of like demons or whatever that had been defeated, but they were brought back, and then from there it kind of shoots over to the main player getting their getting started, meaning like there's this group that are like time guardians or something like that, and that's the rough idea. And they notice that there's a disturbance on this world, and they send you, basically the protagonist, to this world. and you're human, but everybody else on the planet also looks human too. In fact, I think in the first intro it said, or in the first like lines of dialogue, it says like, "This is just like Earth." So I guess it's like Earth but different. But then from there, it kind of just opens up and it kind of becomes more like a open world type game, almost like an MMO feeling, where there's lots of like little side quests and lots of little things to there are a lot of little fetch quests too, those kind of things, a lot of tutorials, and yeah, I mean, that's like the rough premise. I can't say that I played about 5 or 6 hours of it, so like after that it kind of just it feels a little bit more to me like go here, then go here, then go here in the story. But like I like a little bit more of the heat from the intro that I would have liked to see a little more in the actual story. But
okay,
it is what it is.
Okay, what about you, Unjaded?
Yeah, I can't even say if I really liked or didn't like the story, because yeah, like Cychronic said, so the intro was intriguing. I think it did well by kind of giving you an understanding of the whole world, the state of the world, and then some key events that led up to the Time Guardians stepping in. It seems like a little bit, as far as the story is concerned, like there's these elements that seem a little separated from each other, like Time Guardians. Okay, so that's like, I'm thinking of it as along the same lines as like Loki, Thor, and those like gods coming to this world to like save it in some weird way, because they exist outside of, I guess different timelines or something like that. And then that's another inconsistency too, because you're like, all right, is this like a infinite
another
universe
dimension
type of situation, whereas multiple world outcomes, same world, different outcome? Because then they did compare, like they did make a comparison to Earth, or is it like a galaxy or something, and it's like Earth is like a couple galaxies away or something like that. So I'm thinking it's more like the former. But yeah, I think the beginning part where they talked about Jira was told in a way that left a few holes. The parents, I think, wanted to save Jira, and they hired, I guess, Tristan or something to go. They went down to the basement. It looked weird how they were telling us, like walk into a random cave and then all of a sudden they're like in a lava throne room with I guess the demon lord like just coming out and like waking up after being slept or something. The whole point about Jira, I guess like they went to those lengths to save the boy Jira, and then I'm curious. I saw one message in the beginning that like, okay, Jira, like, was it all worth saving Jira? And I'm like, okay, one would argue that if you're trying to save your kid, you would go to any length to like save him. But you it also kind of begs the question, like, why not save Jira? Like I mean, he's a kid, you want to save him, right? But then I'm like, save him from what? What was wrong with him? Why does he need to be saved in the first place? Like all of these things, just kind of trying to figure out by this beginning cutscene. I'm a little bit confused. I almost feel like they could have allowed the player to play a little bit of this. Like, so imagine this part where you get to Belethel. Oh, okay. That name really helps me understand the story. So you get there, you play that gives you the battle tutorial, but then you understand, like, I guess a little more about Tristan, which is a whole nother set of heroes, by the way. Like, so you're the Time Guardians, but then Tristan is one of the 3 heroes from each continent. That's just another thing, because at first I was like, dang, nobody on this earth really cares about the earth. I forgot the name of the world, but yeah, it was the 3 guardians.
That was also kind of confusing to me too, because it seems like they call that the world Ororis and the demon lord guy
Ororis, yeah.
Ororis. So it's like the same name for the world and the demon lord guy.
Oh dang.
So that was kind of confusing to me too. I wasn't sure if why or if it has 2 different names or something. I don't know, but I caught that line of dialogue. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Unless that's a typo, you know, but other than that, you just know about the kingdoms.
But as far as like how it feels after you initially get started, it kind of doesn't. I don't feel. It feels like a little bit like the story falls off a bit, and you're kind of just wandering and doing a bunch of small like tasks for people and stuff. But,
Okay. So we both know that Jira, you know, is pretty much basically the focus of the intro, you know, other than knowing who Ororis is, but knowing who the parents were. They were the heroes that defeated the demon lord, and I believe they call it the Dark War. Yeah, it was the Dark War, or it's 2 different wars.
It's 2 different wars. Yeah, I wrote that down. Yeah,
it's 2 different wars, but I think this in the beginning was the Dark War. The Dark War against the demons. I could be backwards. And the Great War was, you know, all the kingdoms came together and whatnot. But it turns out that Tristan and Maria are the parents of the little boy, you know, who who tragically, you know, lost his life because they wanted to basically make an example, you know, of the hero, and you know, and for the demon to be resurrected. So going forward, and this is where the gameplay actually starts, you know, to form the story. The MCs are basically, you know, they're soulless forms. Well, they're bodiless forms, I believe, that they take upon the vessel, you know, to come
like a cloud or a ghost or something.
Yeah, they come to Earth. They come to Earth to, you know, basically, you know, they're like Gino in a way. Gino was from the stars. Whoever played Mario RPG, Gino was from the stars, and he came and he chose a doll, you know. Other than the Mario toys, he chose a doll because, of course, you know, you don't want 2 Marios running around. So basically, that's what you are doing in the beginning. You know, you're like a spirit or ooh-ah, whatever the things is, and you choose a class. So basically, that's
your avatar.
Yeah, you're basically choosing a class, and that's your avatar. And because nobody else is going to be able to see you on the earth, so you need a body to mold. But just like Marlon was saying, you know, the place that we are on resembles Earth, but we look human. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe that suggests different universes. Of course it is a different universe because Ororis and Earth but the atmosphere, and it was explained in the game that the atmosphere is the same. The the life forms, everything resembles Earth. So it would have been easier. Like most developers, they make a game that they call it Earth regardless, but the land is different. The land of Terraria, could be the name of the country. Something fictional, but they always use the planet Earth.
Right.
But to be honest, I like the intro. The intro gave, it played like a movie. Yeah. Now, will it benefit the player if they were able to play a snippet of the Dark War? Like Marlon was suggesting, maybe let the player play a little bit so they could kind of, get a deeper story about what's going on. I mean, I think that's mix and match. It's 50-50. I don't really think you need to play because, one, it's skippable. You don't have to watch tutorial, And
actually, in this game, you do have to watch all the tutorials, but
it's an option where
you meant like the intro.
The intro.
Oh yeah, I know the intro, but you said tutorial.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke.
No worries.
I
liked the intro. I liked it.
I get nervous when I speak, by the way, guys. But I feel like the developer did a great job in the introduction, like explaining what's going on and the tragic and the reason why, we should play this game. I think it gave me enough information to, want to get revenge. You know what I'm saying?
But all right, let me ask you a question. Are we trying to save Jira? Or are we trying to just kill the demons?
Jira is dead. Ain't nothing you
get. I thought he killed his mother.
Jira and Maria were killed.
That's crazy. I didn't know they killed the dog. I didn't know they killed the boy. I know they did something with the dog or something.
Yeah, they shoot. I think they got. I think that demon killed them, but they explained it. And when you're playing the game, you do find the gravestones. Don't want to. I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that. But Tristan, there's no marker for him, so I think he's still alive. And the developer gave a little hints about certain functions in the game that it supports him being alive, if that makes sense. So, and we're gonna talk about those little hints too down the line. But I like the story. You know what I'm saying? I like the story. I think the story is really strong, but some developers could definitely water it down based on what the player is actually doing during the game. You know what I'm saying? Like gameplay, like Synchronic was saying, like you're doing so much other stuff in between, like you don't even.
That kind of messes up the pacing a little bit. Like I don't like. I stop feeling like I'm on this journey or whatever.
Yeah, because you're constantly gathering herbs and rocks and straws for NPCs. That really doesn't make any sense, and it kind of forces you to lose interest about what's going on. You know what I mean? So that's what I think about the story, guys. How would you guys, what else can we talk about in the story? Well, without giving too much away, basically you're a being who
a quinoa or something crazy.
Chinwa is that little ghost. It's like
that's the name of it.
It's like a familiar. Chinwa is that ghost thing that follows you around. That's your guide.
Okay,
I believe so.
I
I
thought
believe
you
that's
went
the
in his
name.
body. You went in the body. So I don't even know. Okay.
See on the screen, see you're that little ghost, so you're choosing the body now.
And which
That's what I
one?
was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And which ones did you guys choose?
I chose the first go around I chose the archer, but my second go around I chose the spell blade.
Hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
I went with the gunner.
Dang, me too. I went with the gunslinger too. It's pretty fun. The gunslinger class is pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think I did want to praise the story for it being a little bit off the beaten path. It's like medieval. It's giving me a little bit like semi-Star Ocean vibes, where it's like technology in some situations, but it's trying to be unique, but also familiar, where it's got the medieval familiarity going on, with like dungeons, villages, all that stuff. But I think, yeah, like, so I'm thinking that the story is like an intriguing one, but it is like, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but like you completely forget that the story exists once you're playing a game. Like,
yeah, exactly. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I think there's more to know about the Time Guardians. I think I like that. I like the concept, but then their motives are a little bit skewed. I mean, like I guess hidden for the time being. I did get into a cutscene where, so as the beginning lays out, the leaders of the world are, some of them are possessed by demons, and they are the ones that keep the conflict going.
Yeah.
And I noticed like they have a goal, and there's something about stealing a timeline or something like that.
Yep.
And that's a little confusing because I don't know why they want to do that. Do y'all know why?
Well, it seems like they want to lock in the timeline to be their preferred outcome.
Yeah. And there's three different demons on each. There's like a main demon on each continent. So I'm thinking it's the ruler of those continents that's been possessed by those demons. So basically, that's your goal, is to destroy those principal demons, to I don't know, I didn't really get that far, and like the developer said, you got to explore a lot more to like really piece the stories together. But the design of the game, given it be open world, it's you could easily get like I said, distracted from the story.
But now how I probably would have suggested this play out is like, you get to one town and then you see how that town is affected by the overall story. If there's a demon, and even if it's like you're in a province, which is like there's a lord that is a demon, but he controls a number of villages or towns around it. The members of the individual villages could be like, man, those taxes super high. I don't know what King blah blah is doing. He looked like he got a demon in his eyes sometimes or something, to remind the player like, oh, we is still dealing with like higher ups being demons or something like that. Or the guy sends some demon knights or something down there, just they act up and they end up burning the village down or something. I don't know. Or even that whole timeline piece where okay, this is my speculation. I think that the timeline piece kind of hints toward you being able to change the outcome. Like, okay, Jira is dead, the mother is dead. If you can change the timeline or something, then you can change the outcome to where as though
they actually don't die or they can be saved or something to that effect, I guess. That's my speculation, but I think that they should really they should they got to sew that into my exploration. So one town I'm at got burnt because one of the higher ups said they wanted to burn it. One town is like super poor because the higher ups are like maybe taxing it. Another town maybe is flooded or whatever, and then I gotta go. I can still do side quests and everything, but I kind of see the overarching problem is still kind of in the back of my head. That's what I think they should do as far as the story or something. And it doesn't have to be that serious or that dramatic. It could be the characters kind of, I mean, the NPCs complaining, or some small like a mini quest that does actually, a sub quest that does actually remind you of what the story is about.
Take you down the rabbit hole a little bit, so you are like, oh, this is why this is important. Yeah. But
Mhm.
I'm guessing that it actually does this, but because there's so many different directions you can go, that you might theoretically have a playthrough where you never get to it, even though you're trying to get to it, because of the amount of choice and direction you can go in the game. Like the way, like my specific playthrough, like there is actually story in this game and stuff, but like after a while it gets kind of fuzzy as to who you're even supposed to talk to, because it's basically just like a lot of things. And
Yep.
I get distracted, and then I'm like, where do I go from here? And I kind of don't know. And it's there somewhere, but I don't know where it is. And I go running around all the way north, all the way south, all the way east, all the way west, and then some stuff happens. But I think that's where it kind of loses the script a little bit for me, as far as the main story.
And from what I've gotten from my playthrough, nobody knows what's going on. Some people think everything is normal. Some people feel stuff that, they see strange things. So it's kind of a mixture, but it's not really causing the uproar like it's all known. Everybody do not know, about these demons except a select few people, because you as the main character, you're supposed to find somebody that knows about these anomalies, these time portals, whatever they're called, these gates, and not a lot of people knows about, except a few, and they don't really know. But you do get certain quests that supports the main story. Then you do have some lore that you can find that can support it, but you also have lots of lore that doesn't support it either. But I guess what the developer is trying to do is, in the RPG Maker world, or any, they try to create the filler content that they try to add in, that doesn't really support like what the players should know, like in the beginning. You know what I mean? Because all we know, we just need to find somebody that know about these anomalies, and when we do, you could easily, but while you're trying to, you could easily get sidetracked. You could easily, lose your focus about what you're supposed to do, because how open world the game is.
Yeah. What y'all think about the characters?
I don't know, like individual characters themselves to me felt a little on the weak side. I didn't really particularly feel for them or whatever. And I don't know, the little ghost being is the only one that sticks out to me, really, or the people from the intro, even more so than the people in the game after the intro.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was gonna say I like the Chi Wu concept. I like that. Uh, the the three guardians. I thought that they would have a more heavier. I mean, a bigger part of the story. Um, at some point. Uh, yeah, and I'm guessing still running around the game. I haven't found my second party member yet, so I don't know really if the other party members will be tied into the story or they'll just be people I can pick up that are from a side quest that I did or something like that. How about y'all? Did y'all pick up extra party members or did any?
I did, yeah. It helped.
Cool.
I found two or three.
Cool.
I think I found 2 or 3 of them. One was the fighter, and the other one was the knight.
Was any of those members like connected to the story at all? The main story, or did they have like an involving side story?
They're actually they do have a side quest that you must complete. Well, not really, you know. Well, I it's hard to tell because it may. All right, for one of them, I had to fight like a boss. You know what I mean? I had to fight like a boss, and the other one you gotta find like a diary, like a journal. You know what I mean? But these are characters that you can pick. Like in the beginning, you know, like before you choose your hero. These are characters that you can actually pick and choose, like from the beginning. So picking one may replace it with another NPC. You know what I mean? Okay, the developer said the fighter wants to avenge for what the demon did to her village. So maybe, see, this is what I don't understand. And by the developer assuming this, right? This could break immersion with these characters because the fighter girl lives on Ororis, but you could choose her in the beginning as one of these supernatural beings.
Yeah, like a persona.
So it would make more sense if these characters were actually living on Ororis itself. And they're affected. All right, so let's put it like this.
Like I was gonna say, or you could select them, but then it would kind of put you in that part of the world where you where
they're going through something, and you know, it's kind of like a Saga Frontier type thing,
or Octopath.
Octopath type thing. Yeah, like you choose that character, like the Spellblade. His village may be on fire and he doesn't have any power. Then this Chiwa thing come and, you know, say, you know, I will help you, you know, get revenge or whatever.
And then getting the other party members would make sense too, because they could theoretically be having different Chiwas helping them out too. And these Time Guardians are really trying to help this planet here, so they're dealing with different people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hold on. He said you cannot choose her in the beginning. It's a different fighter character. Okay.
Never mind then.
Okay, I apologize. You know, having so many characters to choose from is kind of like, oh my god, I believe it was what, like 17 you could pick, 12, at least 12 you could pick. So,
but I do agree that the idea of like a little bit of that Saga Frontier thing, like with picking these different characters, would be like a nice addition. Actually.
Yeah.
It would make everybody's playthrough different, pretty much.
And
Yeah.
and talk about playthrough. What were you gonna say, Marlon?
No, I was going to agree. I'd already, I think I noted that being able to select a class got me excited for future playthroughs
Yeah,
to start. So I thought that was cool.
yeah, that's cool. So, all right. So about the story, which y'all give it thumbs up, thumbs down, 1 out of 10.
I give it a sideways thumb. Like, you know, it can go, it can get it has some good elements in it. It needs to bake in the oven a little bit more, but it can be great. You know, so that's kind of where I'm at. But as of now, I'd say story to me feels like a 6.8 or ish to me.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna go with the 6 as well. Only because that what we mentioned, the story is good, it's unique, and I like the fact that he centered the events around, like the branching events around the Dark War. So the Dark War happened, and then, like, I guess the Great War happened after that. But like all of these things happened coming off of the Dark War. He's got the worlds, the different continents in the world, and then some time guardians. The reasons why all of these elements exist is kind of iffy, and I guess that's what you play the story and maybe learn more about the time guardians and stuff like that. But I do, to the credit, like, I do uniquely remember this game's story better than some of the other RPG Maker games I played for whatever reason. So I think the execution in the beginning, that like you said, like you guys said, that intro cutscene really helped. It was good, and then I just think, like, I guess the developer is doing a good job in kind of like using the elements. But when I'm a player and I'm playing, I'm not using the elements. Like, I don't care about the Great War, the Dark War, the demons, and nothing. I'm just trying to go find a package to give to a guy at a town, and then go to Gibraltar. Like, so that's where the story's like lacking. If I had to go make a decision whether or not I was going to, save the village, or go, maybe I had to go see Jira's whereabouts, or find Jira's notebook or something like that, then that would have been the kind of boost we need to, like, feel engaged with the story, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Lavexis, you're saying the story will get better once you play further. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. You have to tell the story in a way that keeps them hooked as they go along to get to the point where they play the game longer. There's a reason why people are like playing a game, and even if it gets better 10 hours in, that's too late, because there wasn't transition steps in between to keep the player hooked that long. So that's my input on that when it comes to, like, story.
Yeah.
What's your number score?
Oh, so I think Cychronic did 6.8.
6.8.
And I did 6.
You did a 6, like a solid 6.
Yeah.
All right, so introduction was great.
Yeah.
Introduction was great. It got me hooked, but at the same time, side quests, getting lost was really early in the game. And I understand, we got the compass, understand that, we have the ability to explore, and I think that is what gonna hurt you in the long run, because having a lack of quest log, it's just gonna water down what the heck is going on. And now the player cannot focus on the story because he's doing so much so many things.
So much side hustling.
Yeah, like you're not focused. So the intro was strong, really strong, but it kind of went downhill, you know, a lot within the first hour, because now the opening cutscene probably was 5 minutes. Now spending the next hour picking up herbs, fighting goblins, getting rings that somebody lost. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm not fresh on the story. You know, it does feel like your MMO, and I said it plenty of times in my stream. This is kind of like a MMO, a offline MMO. You know what I mean? You're not playing online, but you got all your crafted and stuff, so you're doing all this extra side stuff. It feels like you're just now getting started, where this being, he's there for a purpose, but the first person you run into is telling you about a card game. You know what I mean? Like, that could come later on. You know what I mean? Like, that could come like maybe 2 hours within the game, but that's the first thing that I've learned. Oh yeah, if you want to learn how, you want to teach you how to play cards. So it took a nosedive, the story, but it's strong. But I'm talking about within 2 hours of gameplay. I feel like that's when you should have your player hooked, within the first 2 hours. I give it a 7.5. I give it 7.5 because I do like the story. I did play a little bit further than some of these guys, and I feel like when you're doing the main quest, you are on point, but not enough where like you feel like, oh yeah, oh wow, but
there's gonna be some drop off.
Yeah. You definitely get there, but I see the attempt. I see what he's trying to do. So I give it 7.5.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm really moved personally by decisions I make in stories, and also like plot or story beats that I get impacted by. Like, my character makes a decision on, or my character is in the middle of. I think because it's a game, being in the story is like really a plus up to the story, right? If you're in the story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, gameplay. What y'all guys think about the gameplay?
Oh man, so I'm all over the place.
Mechanics, gameplay, mechanics, everything that makes the game its game.
I don't even know where to start. Where do you want to so I guess so when I start the game, you get to select a character. I like that. I like the way it's presented. It's kind of like a mix of, okay, you walk up to the kind of mannequin, and then you press enter, and it shows more details.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the icons are a little bit inconsistent. Well, it takes me to hit enter on the object in the world for me to like know what it is. I see that in a couple of things, like some of the shops. Like, I didn't know what an item shop was, for instance, until I had to go and talk to the person, and then like, oh, I'm the item shop. The one shop is shared by the armor, light armor, items and weapons, and then upgrades. It's all in one shop. So I think maybe they could have called it a bazaar, and then you got to have some sort of guy or something saying like items guys right there, like put the items icon like right over the guy's head or something like that to at least let me know. Because but then I saw the compass did have a little potion icon on it, and then like, I guess the reason why I'm saying this, I couldn't even leave the town because it said I had to go to the item shop first, and I'm like, bro, I don't see the item shop. So I just talked to all the NPCs, and then I still left. I did find the item shop. I bought a lockpick, and then I tried to leave. I couldn't leave. because I still had to go to the item shop, and I'm guessing that's because I did the upgrade thing, but also did the card thing, I think, and then I guess when I did all that, I was able to leave. So, really confusing there. I think that this game, it's like I want to like the game. It's a lot to like. Like, so we're talking about gameplay. I like the battles, but it seems like there's so. All right. I mean, I don't want to take away from what this game has to offer, but I think that this game, it almost has a little bit is a little bit too much. And to be honest, RPG Maker games are starting to have this problem where they throw in a lot of plugins. Specifically, like you think about the card system, when you have the armor and you put a card on your armor, it is just like, do you really need that on top of the random item or the random loot box system where you open a box and you get an item, and then you got to dismantle that item to then take it to the smith to upgrade that item, and you got to use all these different combinations to upgrade the item. It just make you wonder, like, what am I doing right now? Maybe I could have, like, maybe you can introduce the system like later as an addition or something, because you're just at a loss. Like, I just think, oh, the armor's like that too. So I'm gonna pause to let y'all come in and talk about y'all experience. But like I said, I think overall, so many mechanics, but I like the combat.
Yeah, I like the combat too. But it was pretty fun. I liked playing as the gunner because it played like, I noticed that there is different play styles for each one depending on which one you pick. And and the gunner's kind of like, I would call it a glass cannon, so really fast, but kind of not the best defense, but lots of DPS, and then there was like attacks that you do way more damage if you can hit enter as many times as possible within a few seconds. And I was really good at that, so I was doing massive damage with my keyboard twitching, and yeah, so I kind of had fun with that. One thing I did not have fun with, though, is I felt like this game was like tutorial hell. Like, especially when I first started, it like the tutorials are like, okay, here's a 10-page tutorial, and then you go through it, and you like don't even want to go through it, and then at the end, like a full video plays that shows you how to do it, and then you can't get out of it. And, I hated it. That's what I hated.
It was bad. It's like I hated it too, but it worked. Like the problem is, like, all right,
you
so
probably
now
needed it to understand
yeah,
the thing, yeah. But
I was like, I think maybe
But I'm just saying, like, pacing wise, that stuff can kind of get folded in a little more gradually. I would think, like, in the story.
Yeah, some kind of way, man.
Because it's just a little too much at once, and yeah. But anyway, like the actual combat, I had fun with it, and once you get like the logic of it, it's simple, fun to play.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to ask you, how high was your damage with the gunslinger when you mashed enter? How high was you able to get it?
Like 4,000 or
dang, 4,000.
Yeah, but I think Lavexis said that after my playthrough, because I did a review of this game previously, that that was gonna get nerfed a little bit.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, all right, I got 1,500. I thought I was doing something, but hey, that's cool. That's cool. That's why I really like that part, that variance.
Yeah.
So it give you a good like sense of strength in the game.
And then as far as like the mechanics, like the equipping and enhancing stuff and whatever, I was okay with it. It's as long as like
look on the screen. This is how bad it is. Body, boots, gem, orb, card, key, head. I don't know. Like,
it's just a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost too damn much. Like right now I'm playing Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance, and it's a lot there too, but it takes some stuff away because it's like, all right, you're not going to put armor on your demons, right? So it's like, this game is about this, so you do this, right? But it seems like this game has its own identity, but it wants to also have some of like the traditional stuff, like go to the shop, buy a sword or whatever, right? But then also open a loot box that could be a magic sword, even though you're a gunslinger or whatever, right? And then it's like, now I gotta go break that down, try to make me a better weapon, and you know what I'm saying? It's just like, what do you want to be? You know what I'm saying? So just lean into whatever I think mechanics you want to have. You don't gotta have them all for it to be fun.
Your guys. This game is just like a MMO. It has tier lists, it has crafting, it has dismantling, it got mining, it got digging, it got 19 mini games. You find all them things in the MMO. So this is heavily inspired by some type of MMO game. Now, I love low sprites. I love what people can do with those. And choosing the characters in the beginning and reading the description and knowing that these characters got subclasses, two different classes that you could choose from when you reach level 25. This is what I like.
Yeah, I would have liked for that to be discoverable though, in my opinion.
But that would have been cool, you know what I mean? Like if you reach certain or get certain items or certain mechanic, well, something that's in game that you can choose or unlock these characters and not just automatically get at level 25, you know. But that got something to do with the ghosts, you know, the Chihuahua, whatever them things are. But I agree with Cychronic. The tutorials is a dead giveaway, you know, that this is the developer did a whole lot where he has to keep reminding you about this and that, and the problem with that is the info dump. You're not gonna remember everything that you read. You're not gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like what the developer should have done was integrated in the game where you have to do it. You know, where the player is actually manually
feel like it's important to do it.
Like to introduce the crafting, make it a side quest to do it.
Yeah.
Or, you know, equipping cars, make a side quest to do it. Once you give me like 10 different pages to read,
I'm like going next.
I'm not gonna remember all that because most players need to have hands-on. You know, that's the better learning experience, is hands-on. So when I play this game, I think MMO. I like it. I like you know, finding and crafting the herbs and stuff, but it's just so much where in the game that there's instances where the player should know how to do certain things, you fail to mention it. Like, for example, infield items and battle items. I bought a resurrection potion. I spent $200 for the potion, thinking that I could use it in battle to revive my my battlers. I can't use it in battle. You have to take that same potion and craft it if you want to have an in battle resurrection potion. Like, how in the heck am I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
and nobody told me in the game. Like, come on, bro. Like, what if I spent 1,000? The game is just so big. Like,
my strategy is like I'm not even touching crafting. I'm just trying to build. I'm trying to level up and attack with the gun.
So basically, you gotta go through each and every item to see what you can use in battle, craft, or whatnot. Like, some of that stuff could be confusing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think the player is just thrown so much lore information in the beginning where it's like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do? Like the card thing, the skill potions that give you skill points, all this stuff is just thrown at you. I don't even know what the heck I got in the inventory. You know what I'm saying? If you got to tell the player what to do, remind them of what to do, there's a problem somewhere. Either your player isn't getting it, or they just, because some things that I should know, I'm not getting everything. So maybe when I introduce crafting, then I'm supposed to look at each item. You know, then you have, it tells you in your inventory that these are field items only. But it's too late now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too late. I bought it. I was like, hold on, man. I bought 2 of these things. Where are they? Oh, yeah. You got to craft them. Huh? Okay. I never knew. So you got to do a lot of self-exploration that's outside the tutorial to really get what the heck is going on with this game, especially like the tier, like the clothes, like duos, mono, you know what I mean? That's a tier. That's like that separates, like duos is better than mono armor and weapons. I don't think that was explained.
Well, it kind of, duo means 2 and mono means 1.
Yeah,
so
but how the heck am I supposed to know if...
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Because rank 1 could be the top, you know? Right?
All I see is a color, and I'm thinking, you know, it take me to my Borderland days where there's armor and guns that's on the ranking system, you know, like red, green is common, blue is rare, purple is legendary, orange is ultimate, you know, something like that. And all I see is stats. All I see is green. If it's green, I'm equipping it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that is small and easily missed that need to be relayed to the player, or they're just going to be lost. They're just going to be running around, which is mainly what you doing the whole time, running around picking up flowers and stuff and doing side quests and the sword. And and another thing with that, there's no freaking quest log.
Oh yeah, that too. I noticed that. The game did mention that side quests aren't mentioned, and I was like, I was okay with that for a second, because I was thinking, okay, maybe it's not going to be a lot of quests. Maybe it's going to be like something that, because this is the point I was going to make about the gameplay in general. I would suggest that most games, and I think most, you know, general RPGs allow you to do this, especially like the simpler ones. They allow you to set a objective for yourself. Like, I want to level up to about 10 before I proceed in the story. That's an objective. Or I want to see if I can get a rabbit hair's ass or tail or whatever to drop. Right? Get it to drop, and then I've got a lucky rabbit tail thing item. Um, or I just want to upgrade all of my characters' feet accessories or whatever. Get them all some boots, and then I can proceed. Like, I'm having trouble being able to set my own personal objectives in the game because I'm a little bit like overwhelmed with all of the elements of it. Uh, I guess, right? And then running around is a little bit tedious too. When you're going from screen to screen, some of the map is like gotta run up and down and around, and you gotta read the sign, go up or down. So I was not a fan of that. So like I say, combat was cool. I think I like the reload aspect, and then the TP management and stuff like that. So combat is really carrying this whole game for me. But having my own personal objectives, I didn't know at what point I was going to recruit another member. I guess I was going to when I got to Gibraltar or something like that, but wasn't sure. Wasn't like I didn't feel like I need to go to shop to get a better sword or whatever, a better piece of armor. I didn't have those feelings. I was just running around like trying to figure out like what am I supposed to do, and
Yeah, and it seemed like the shop stuff was just basic. You get your good stuff from the random chests, and most of the time you get stuff that's not even your class and you can't even equip.
Oh crap!
You know what I mean? Like all that stuff is random. It's random loot.
Yeah, you gotta dismantle it, and that's why I was randomly picking up those little axes or hammers. Yeah,
the hammers allows you to dismantle them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that stuff was explained, but at the same time, the reward could be hit or miss. You know what I mean? The reward could be hit or miss. Like you don't really, to be honest, I find no reason to buy weapons or armor.
Mm.
I haven't seen nothing in the shop, which I may buy something that I don't have, to like balance out my defense. But after that, ain't no need to buy anything. Where I seen, you're best off trying to get a weapon bag or armor bag and getting loot from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do like the mini games. I think the mini games were fun. They got the matching one. They got the hide and seek. I didn't play that because that girl could have been any freaking where. You know what I mean? Especially it's a big town. So I was like, nah, I ain't doing that one. Now, if you said, they're on the same map, then yeah, that's different. But I'm not running around 8 different maps trying to find you, But it is a lot to do. It is a lot to do to keep you distracted from the main story.
But then there's the fact that there's no quest log. That's basically super counterintuitive because you keep picking up these side quests and you have no way to track them.
I think I got 6 side quests, and I can't remember not all of them. I probably know about 2 of them. The rest I don't even know.
Yeah, because one thing I think is important is you gotta kind of pay attention to how folks play RPGs in general, and kind of it's just like this golden path you kind of gotta follow, right? I know a lot of games try to make you play their way because they want to introduce like something fresh or unique, but you gotta imagine the player's just going to walk and talk to the NPC, press enter, and then walk off. They'll be like, oh yeah, and they're going to do it like 8 times to every character in the town, probably pick up some side quests. But as soon as they leave that town, they're going to forget who they talked to, what they're supposed to do. Whether you want them to run back and talk to the NPC, or you're going to allow them to like, okay, John told you to pick up 5 herbs or whatever, so that you can keep playing instead of like having to go backtrack or having to keep some games. I ain't gonna lie, like I think Breath of the Wild, even though it had that, Tears of the Kingdom, it had that whole quest system. I would still keep a book because I would find stuff outside, and while running around, like this might be this for this quest and stuff like that. It's up to you whether you think you want people to have a book next to them or help them out.
Well, also too, like the side quests could use a little bit more of a narrative, and what I mean by that is like they could be a little bit maybe more like short stories where there's some meat there. It just feels like you're doing somebody's grocery shopping sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll help people remember, because the best way to remember something is to associate it with something, and these little side stories can be related to the main goal of the game, the main story that you're trying to do. But maybe it's like a lower level, like 14th lieutenant, demon.
I did like he did have a side quest where the sewer one, there was a demon in there killing, kidnapping and killing people. So
that's awesome.
That was a good one, and you got good rewards out of that. We had more of those, then it'll make sense. But because those type of side quests, it makes you want to do it immediately. You know what I mean? Like certain side quests, you're not too keen about doing it. Like, I don't want to do it. Sounds dumb. But something like that gets your player excited. Yeah, heck yeah. Let me do this. I could put off the main story now just to do this. So yeah, we need more quests like that. But everything, I mean, I like a lot. I like a lot of things in this game though, like gameplay wise, but it just feels like it's just just like MMOs, you're presented with a lot of information that you're not going to remember, and the best teacher is actually hands-on and actually learning things, and
but also I think the developers, all RPG Maker developers, or even like, I don't even know if I should keep it as RPG Maker developers, but like RPG developers. Because I think I want to the genre, like really gotta think like, what experience do you want the player to have,
right,
and try to deliver that, and not try to just be like, all right, I'm making an RPG, I can have this, I can have this, I should have this. I don't want to be eating supreme pizzas every night, or with all the toppings, because that joint, it's not the best. Sometimes that's why pineapple, ham and pineapple exists. That's why pepperoni exists, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say keep that in mind. But man, we had to we're crunching for time. We're like in a little bit of a time squeeze. I think we could probably just flow right into.
So what y'all what we scoring game
for the gameplay? Yeah.
Okay.
My score for the gameplay, my notes on this are that I like the gameplay. I think pretty much most of the elements of the gameplay are pretty good, pretty fun. My issue is not with the gameplay itself as much, but with the way it's packaged, meaning the pacing upon which you do these things or not, or things that aren't explained that you need to know, things like that. But that's not necessarily the gameplay itself. So I would actually give the gameplay like an 8, actually.
All right, what about you, Marlon?
Okay. Okay. My problem is gameplay. and presentation, the presentation is impacting my gameplay. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna try to not use that as a criteria for gameplay alone. I think that um, the game has all the elements I think that a game should have in a like a modern game. Tutorials, tutorials, uh, some sort of navigation. That's the compass. It's got all of the systems of like autosave and everything. I even like the system like if you game over, it's not actually game over. Uh, the other options, I think there's like a dungeon option. You can play these like dungeons. I haven't tried that yet, but the subclasses I thought was
Yeah.
cool. The fact you can pick a class I thought was cool. Um, and there's fishing, and like it's like like D7 says, a bunch of other mini games too. The triple triad clone, I didn't like the presentation of the triple triad clone, and I'm just tired of playing triple triad mini games, so cut that out. So I think the gameplay is really strong. However, like the way it's given to you has some it's stuck in some sludge right now. Um, so I'm gonna put it in the 7.5. I would like for it to be more streamlined. So, like I said, I can set personal goals as a player so that I can feel like I'm excelling in the game and not just because all I was trying to do throughout my time playing, and if I play it further, is just level up. I just want to level up so I don't have to worry about any other mechanism. My level 1 gun is going to be so strong because I'm going to be over leveled. Um, and I guess that's my whole point, because I'm not being put up against like challenges, or I don't see objectives for me to make on my own. Like, okay, let me try to go get a better weapon, or let me try to go recruit a tank, or recruit somebody that can relieve these status ailments or something like that. I don't, you know what I mean? Things like that. So that's where it is for me.
I mean, when I played it, like I said, everything feels like a completed game. There's a lot to do. And when I mean there's a lot. And I like the fact that you can solo this game. You don't need a second player. You don't need a party member. You could challenge yourself in many ways. You could play as different characters and get experience from each one. There's ultimate skills. There's crafting. There's fishing. There's card games. There's matching. There's a lot you can do, and the fact that it doesn't cost you a dime. This game is offering a lot more to do than most paid commercial RPG Maker games, and is actually playing better, more entertaining than some paid games that that is out there right now. But some things do need to be tweaked. It needs to be worked on in order to fit that bill, where it just not more of a chore of reading and trying to figure it out as a player, and hidden mechanics and hidden things that should be told to the player. I'm not trying to say handhold, not trying to 100% handhold, but I feel like some things were omitted that needs to be omitted. But overall, I did really enjoy this game. I did like what it has to offer in terms of replayability, which is very important to me, when I do play games, because, every time I want to play something, I like playing games where it just feels, here we go again, like starting off fresh. But I agree with Marlon. The gameplay is really strong, to me, and I actually like the game. I actually do. So I'll give it an 8.5.
All right. Cychronic, what was your score again? My bad.
This was an 8.
8. All right, got it. Okay.
I'm recording them too.
Oh, okay, great. All right, at least one of us is doing that. I got it on my own spreadsheet. Okay. So let's flow right into the presentation. And what's messed up is we didn't give this topic enough time, because I actually think like that's one of the biggest controversial points.
Yeah.
So we got. I'm gonna just start rambling. We got the AI bus. I think that is it's subtracting from the experience, but I just didn't even care at that point. Like, I don't know. So like I said, the presentation is impacting the gameplay, and the gameplay was already kind of where it was. So I was not motivated by, or even discouraged by seeing the inconsistency. However, I am concerned about the community and future games maintaining that consistency. I would like for it to like not have that inconsistency overall, but and then you gotta understand, like, because of that inconsistency, it made me lower my standard. It made me go, okay, well, solo developer, I guess, this game is, they don't care. Why should I care? I guess, right? And
so you're against AI too, right?
I'm against it. Use like, okay, you see the generated image and you just use it.
I think what they did, right? They used the low sprites because, to their defense, the AI busts are the playable characters. Those are important characters that you will be able to recruit, and it's part of the story. I think what they took is the RPG lows bus and had AI create a generative image based on it.
Yeah, maybe. For me, the AI busts didn't bother me.
Of course.
But the inconsistency is an issue. Like when you're mixing and matching the different like styles that don't go together. And again, like, you can get really good generations out of AI too, but like better generations than these, even, for sure. But it just that there's a lot of inconsistency, and that it doesn't bug me as much, but it does bug, if it's too much, it is a little bit like, okay, you can just fix this, right? Change it to either one or the other, but pick one,
Yeah, and another thing,
style wise, I mean, like.
And another thing, like I told him, this game has enough to be a paid game, and I'm surprised this game is free. But there's a lot of inconsistencies, like with the AI buzz, and some of the
and the menu boxes.
The menu box, and it's like it's plug-in heyday in this game. It's like anything that looks pretty. Like, I don't think you need to show the characters HP on the outworld. I think he did that because he had a auto heal type thing. You could press the button and it automatically heals. I think that's why it's showing. Like the HP and stuff is showing on the overworld, but I don't really need to use that. So I think that should be like an option to turn that on and off if you want it. But I just feel like, this is a game where, oh yeah, I'm just gonna add this, add that, add that. Like, when is it gonna stop? But like I said, it does feel better than some of those games out there, and I really stand on that. You know what I mean? It just needs some retweaking.
Yeah.
But I do agree with Marlon with the AI. It gots to go. It got
Yeah.
it got to go.
I think it's holding the game back, honestly. Because of the AI, it's making it hard for you to kind of connect with the characters. No more, no more Ganondorf, no more, like unique characters that you can remember, like Kirby or and stuff like that. Like even though Kirby's like a simple circle or whatever, like you can identify with him. We going around this AI stuff. I would lean towards more like, hey, get inspiration from it, and don't just look at it like, some pretty smooth AI, and just like use it. You know what I
But
mean?
let's be honest though. Let's be honest. This is a free game. The
Yeah,
developer,
and that's what I was.
the developer don't have much money.
I get
But
that. I get
Right?
that. But that's the point I was making, because it's going to set a precedence. It's like, well, I guess it's okay, but then the other games is going to guess it's okay too, and then you're going to have like Black Myth Wukong looking, bus with like, AI.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be like Pokemon,
Yeah.
side, character
but
images.
isn't that not really evidence of a problem with the tool itself, but what, like, the generation of it? I mean, you can generate something that actually does look good, and you wouldn't know it was AI. Like this looks like it was a pretty quick generation for these.
Maybe, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like,
but I do think that the AI busts here look better than the Lowe's faces in the message box. But the problem is when
He
you're
might
doing
well
them
use
both.
AI for every NPC.
that's what I'm saying.
If that's the case, use
so,
it for
but then,
everybody.
Yeah, so imagine.
Yeah,
So
yeah, right. Like it wouldn't look as jarring if it was just consistent, but it's not.
Yeah,
Right?
and,
So
and
that's the
people's gonna notice that. That's not inside the RPG Maker community. They're gonna notice the inconsistent. They be like, hold on, why this guy look like a like what Marlon said, Black Wukong character, and this guy look like the Flintstone. Like it don't make any sense. And you
And it's
see that it me playing it bothered me. Like, come on, bro. Like,
But-
like my character AI bust looked just like the sprite. The Spellblade guy looked just like the sprite, but the fighter girl ain't no way. They look totally two different characters.
Well,
yes,
but it is also getting good enough now, like the tools where you can, like, now I can actually make a full face set, and it looks like pretty good with different facial expressions and
But
stuff.
okay, he said 40 plus busts are expensive, but if you had the generator, which is $100, I know $100 is a long way. You can make all the busts for your characters that you want, because the generator comes with busts. So it's sitting you back $100, but at the same time, it makes your game look more consistent. It makes your characters look more consistent with one another, and not just relying on the people pack, because the people pack, you can't make a cast of characters out those people packs. It's literally going to be repetitive.
yeah, it's
The
leaning right on
generator
it.
is not good enough. It's still buggy right now, but it's people making really good games with it. They're constantly updating it. They're constantly adding different clothing and equipment and stuff like that. But it just, people is going to complain about how the characters look. However you like it, people is going to notice that. And people can if you do get rid of the faces, then there's no inconsistency. But my stream should have told you everything. Look what people was complaining about.
Yeah,
The
and that's probably one
faces,
of the best.
they was complaining about the AI and the Lowe's clashing to it. Other than that, they won't complain about nothing else, except maybe a couple tiles here and there, little nitpick stuff. But the biggest thing is the AI.
Yeah,
If you're
and
gonna
I would
use,
honestly make an argument to make the game like simpler. So this game's like free, and it's getting a lot of traction. Like there's part of the game that you want people to experience, but making tweaks is going to be a big deal. Like you were saying, like 40 plus bucks and all that stuff. Like imagine this game, but just like on a smaller scale, that's easier to manage and people can approach it. I just think like that's kind of where like people are forgetting, like, good games come in small packages as well. Real good games come in small packages. Like, shoot, I keep thinking like Enter the Gungeon. It was mad simple. It had like 4 or 5 people you could select. You go in there, you play. It is roguelike, but it's small enough to keep having fun. RPGs can be like that too, even though they can have stories and armor and stuff like that.
Padre is funny. He said AI. He said Stevie Wonder could see the difference.
Stevie Wonder, dang.
Dang.
But yeah, so but that's what I'm saying. So people are going to be changing their the baseline. Like everybody's going to be okay with AI, and not only just AI, but the inconsistency, the imperfections.
Yeah.
Like we're setting the standard.
Well, no, but you can get it to be consistent, because I use AI every day, right? And like so there's certain techniques you can use to get it to be consistent, and
but let me tell you,
have the right prompt and you reuse just parts of it and stuff, you can get it to be. And if it's not consistent, you just don't use it. But eventually, you get something that's consistent.
You're saying stuff that is like so obvious, right? Like that is like any normal artist would consider these things, right? But we're thinking about the person that is, going to McDonald's, getting whatever's coming out of their order, right? They could get a burger with no pickles and just eating it anyway, right? They like, hey, at least I got a burger with bun, I ain't have to, make it myself.
Right.
That's the biggest problem, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying AI cannot be consistent. I'm just like, people are getting okay with the fact that you get something super quick and it's going to have mistakes, so they don't care, and then it's going to be inconsistent, so they don't care. AI generation is like it's feeding that it's feeding that habit. It's making it so okay now, and that's what I'm worried about.
But I think there's eventually a backlash to that, where like where either the tools get better at making things more consistent on automatically, or people just kind of say, oh, I'm kind of sick of looking at this style, this weird disjointed style. I think I'll play something else, and eventually something is more consistent, whether it's made by AI or not. Like people will gravitate toward that. But I would say before the AI thing, I mean, you might just go without a graphic at all, though. So it's like it's just I guess it's a trade-off, right? At least you can get something, but it might not be the right thing, Whereas before you might have nothing.
I'm pretty sure the developer said, "Oh yeah, this looks good. This looks great."
Otherwise, it might have just been the default generator. It might have just been the default generator RPG Maker MZ heads instead, right?
So let's take AI out of the equation. Take a regular artist. That artist is like scribbling, so he makes the main character, but then he makes the main character like look really bloated, right? A normal person is going to see that and be like, dang, that's inconsistent, So the developer who hired the artist, the developer is going to be like, bro, you gave me these inconsistent images. I'm not paying for that, or I don't think that I should use that in my game. However, on the other hand, people will look at, bringing AI back into the equation, like, well, that's what the AI generated. That's the extent of my AI ability. So I'm going to go with it. I think that mentality needs to really shift. So people need to be really critical to the point where no matter whether you're using AI or not, we are setting the trend of what's acceptable, especially as developers, but also as players. We're choosing to play these inconsistent AI games. It's going to be like, you're going to get numb to the fact, because that's what happened to me. Whereas I was playing, I was like, well, all right, then, what can I do? I got to play the game for the podcast, but if it was up to me, I'd probably be like, what am I playing? I don't know. I think so it's kind of both. The developer needs to be more on point with that, and then the player needs to be more objective to go, all right, I'm not gonna play these games with these inconsistent AI busts,
Well,
But like free game, my thing is I feel the passion the developer has for this game, like, and I'm like super excited about that. Um, but I also think that uh if you want to end up with a good experience, I would say give me something a little more condensed. Me personally, man. Me personally.
um, yeah, like for me, I think these problems or these issues are actually pretty easy issues to fix. But I haven't seen much of a change since I played this back in like September or whatever. So
Hmm.
there's some like these are some simple changes that will make like it'll just increase your audience. It'll just increase the number of people that pick it up and go, oh wow, I like this,
Yeah,
instead of yeah. Um,
yeah, but
and for me, it's not about the AI at all. It's just about the consistency and make it cohesive for what it is. Does it match and
yeah,
for
Yeah.
what it is and stuff like that.
but
And it
everything
could be
else,
yeah, it could be AI or the lows, whatever. Just make it more consistent in that way. And then like the message boxes and stuff, fix when they're supposed when they're two different styles that
yeah,
don't go together one right after the other. It just makes it look kind of weird when
yeah,
it doesn't need
like
to.
it's too comic bookish.
Yeah, I got so many notes. I forgot to bring that up. I did mention that. It's got the persona message box when some people are talking. I guess it's when the main character's talking or something. And it's got normal message boxes when like non-special people are
Yeah,
talking or something. Um, oh, last thing I wanted to mention was the music. Uh, the music when I run around sound like a lullaby, and that's tough because
Or
it's not like
sometimes
a
no,
bad
or sometimes no
song.
music at all.
yeah. In the open world area, there's no music till you get like to a town or a specific area. But like in between, there's no music. It's just nature.
Right, and I think that that's not helping the game. That's not helping the
Walking
game,
simulator.
in my opinion. I really think like we need some exciting music, danger at every turn type of music. Because I am running into random battles. Oh, that's one thing we ain't mentioned about the gameplay. It's got random battles and the on screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And
there's a difference though.
Yeah,
There's a
you can use the
difference.
item to remove the randoms.
The random battles you can run away. The
Oh.
on screen ones you can't run away. You have to fight those out.
All right, but let me ask, like, why does that exist?
I don't know. I think it should be random on open world and on screen in dungeons. That's how it should be, not one or the other.
Okay, because it's tough to run. It's tough to outrun the on screen ones anyway.
Yeah. And they give you the troubles in the dungeon. That would be perfect, or you could just have them everywhere. But yeah, that's the key difference. But the developer do allow you to 100% run away. You can't fail run. So that's the trade-off. And I think it's just for grinding purposes and level crawling as well. The on screen.
I get
But,
it. I get
yeah,
like you have level expectation. You want.
Yeah.
But I was like, I keep going back to it's so many things. Like the developer probably loves making RPGs and RPG Maker like I do too. But he's taking the same game and is like, oh, I can add random loot boxes to my game. Let me do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's creating this huge amalgamation where you got 40 busts. They like
Feature creep.
yeah. So
I mean, you
probably got 7 games in here somewhere.
You can respect. I mean, like I said, I respect this developer for what they're doing, and to make this game within 6-7 months, it's impressive. You know what I mean? Like
day-night cycle.
They know how to really work the engine really well, but sometimes cutting corners, the cheaper route, ain't the way to go.
Yeah, I don't want to keep like pounding on the AI stuff because I know, like, I feel like say this wanted to go commercial, right? Like, it could. That's an easy adjustment. What's really messed up is how some of these mechanics lean on each other. When you're building this whole game, this world, You know, you got items, weapons, characters, the combat, bosses, the maps, like all of these different elements. As you build them out all the way through the game, if you want to change it, it's going to take so much. You have to take so much into consideration.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm worried about. I'm like, dang, I want people to experience the awesome combat. Maybe like, you know, figure out how to, you know, get some combos and stuff like that. But it's like, how do you get to that if you're wandering around the quiet forest and you keep falling asleep because of all the birds and stuff and everything? You don't know where to go. Everything kind of looks the same in the foresty part, and you never get to a battle because you're like, man, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, that's but like I said during my stream, we could be saying all this, it's up to this developer. I've been saying this for months. Get rid of the AI. But they may be content with it. Some people, you know, what we're saying is either when he said he's going to remove the lows, he think about removing the lows. So
I think removing the lows is better, actually. Yeah.
So that means he's keen on the AI. Ain't no change in his mind about the AI.
But also work on making the generations better too, because I see that they seem like kind of basic generations. Like you can get way more detailed with them to create that style with it if you want to go that route too.
So yeah, but I am on a time crunch, guys. So I gotta get ready to head up out of here. You know, my girls got a little hiya, all that good stuff. But presentation, what do you guys give it?
I felt like the presentation was where this game has the most issues, in my opinion. I mean, I would give it like a 6 in presentation.
A 6? What? Okay, Socratic. All right, Marlon.
I'm gonna say so yeah, 6. I'm gonna put 7 because I feel like I want to put 8, 9 to be honest, because it feels like
there's parts of it that are very good. I'm just me. I'm just saying,
like it's like they
it feels like it's kind of slapped together a little bit.
Yeah, it's too much. To be honest, it's too much for an experience. It seems like can't think of a better word. Not a collection, like an exhibit. It's like, here's all of the things that you can put in RPG Maker. That's how it feels.
Yeah, and you're introduced to it so freaking early. Like
it's a collage. You're
like, oh man.
Yeah.
But
exhibition. That's the word. But long story short, it's, in my opinion, it's too much. You gotta pick what you want to give the player the experience, and that's kind of how I'm gonna sum that up. What you think, T7?
Okay, so you give it a 7, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I like the game, you know, and I think the game has a lot to offer. I feel like the game could definitely go the commercial route. You know, this is something that I feel like people would actually probably pay money for, but it's made in a way where, you know, you're taking a huge risk, not only for the game, but as a developer, when you have these inconsistency styles. And, you know, of course, you don't want to use the AI with a commercial project, because technically, you know, some people feel like AI art is stolen. Some people feel like it's not stolen. So there's, you know, but he's not hiding it. He made a disclaimer and everything that this game does contain AI images, you know. But I feel like you, as a developer, you are not a novice. You know exactly what people want. You know, there's an audience for this. Don't get me wrong. There's people that will love this game, that will give it the time and put the hours in behind it, because you worked a lot. You know, you could tell by the description, your store page, it looks amazing. So people will flock to this, but the problem is you got to make them stay and not fly away. You know, and I feel like giving them so much in the beginning and not just, I feel like the pacing in a way is not steady, because you can easily get lost. You can easily get lost and lose your way and not even, remember what you got to do, but at the same time, I see the effort, but this effort really matters to a developer or to a player. I don't think they really care about that. I think they just want to play, your game and make it in a free game, as is. I don't know. I'll make changes. So I will give presentation, because the AI are in the style clashes. It just kind of annoyed me in a way, and I don't really get annoyed like that, but you just can't help it. I feel like it doesn't make any sense, but other than that, I think everything else really did great, man. Really did great. So I give it a 7.5.
But it can go up. It can go significantly higher with a little bit of time.
It could definitely go. Sure. It could definitely go higher.
I'm just rating it for what I feel when I'm playing it today.
Some parts just feel jank. You know what I'm saying? Like when it gets dark time, you can see the torches just automatically light up. Right. Like set on fire. The wooden torches. I'd rather do like a street lamp, you know what I'm saying? Have street lamps and have them light up.
There are street lamps in the game too, though.
Exactly. So that what I don't make sense. I wish we had more time to speak on it. If you want more information, I'm pretty sure Marlon, Cychronic, or myself would tell you more. I'm definitely going to stream the game again. I'm definitely going to try to finish as much as I can of the demo. I believe it is 10 hours that you can get in the demo, and the game is going to be at least 40 to 50 hours when it's completed. So there is a lot to do. For a 10-hour demo. You can't compare it to the AAA, because you're not AAA. You're not AAA. You're an RPG Maker developer. So you want to give all your game away. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry guys, but I do have to head up out of here. And anything my co-hosts would like to say before we disperse?
Yeah, I just like to say overall, I like the game, and I think it's going to improve over time, and I hope to see those improvements, and hopefully this helps. So,
amen.
Yep, same. The same. I just feel the same.
Yeah. Red, hold on. What the heck is going on? Okay, you feel the same. And like I said, Lavexis, you're your own man. You're your own individual. So, you can listen to us, or you could just keep creating games the way that you know how to create them. And maybe this is your means of therapy, so, but we do highly encourage to go beyond and above the Super Saiyan status in order to make a great game. So with that being said, keep developing, keep doing your thing, and we will see y'all guys on the flip side.
Peace.
All right, peace out, guys.
Thank you for everything that you're doing. So if you want to stick around, we about to raid this guy creating an RPG Maker game. So if you want to give them input, give an input. But yeah, we're out. Peace.